Hey everybody, I'm George Sanchez with Sonetta, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the ups and downs on the ocean freight market. What I've loaded here is the Far East Maine to US West Coast corridor. It has over 191,000 different data points on the spot market and around 13,000 different data points on the contract market. And we're looking at a 40-foot standard, taking this data all the way back to 2018, 2017, and a little bit further. Want to bring some of the focus onto what's going on currently. We're looking at all-time highs of the spot market. No surprise to anyone. In the U.S., we saw a massive shift of consumer spending from services into goods and products. Things like hand sanitizers and even home building materials. We saw a massive uptake in that particular commodity or industry as well. But more recently, what everyone's been talking about is the plateau. Rates have been sustained at around just shy of $4,000 per TE per 40, at around $3,859 per container. The impact on the contract market is also pretty significant. Back in the beginning of October, rates were sitting at around $1,600 per box. But as of now, the contract, the standard average rate for a 40 is just south of $2,000 at 1,919. Over time, we've seen things like this happen in the market, where the spot market rises and the contract market follows. And one of the features we have within the platform are future rates. So we can see contracts that are negotiated today, but don't have a start date until some point in the future. What's pretty interesting here is that we don't see that continued uptrend on the contract market. We know that a lot of really large shippers, particularly, negotiate these contracts in the later stages of Q1 of next year in 2021. So we might see these rates adjust as time goes on. But as of right now, rates are sitting at around $1,919 per box and actually dropping down to around $1,600 as we get closer to 2021. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that. There's going to be a ton of data coming in before the end of the year, and we'll have a really good indication of where the market is heading. Another market that's been heavily impacted on spot rates, and particularly because of COVID and capacity changes, is Far East exports into Australia. We've seen week on week just continual growth. Rates are sitting around $4,044 per 40-foot container. This uptake has been pretty rapid over the past couple weeks, so we haven't seen the impact on the contract market really take place as of yet, right? There's not always a one-to-one correlation of what happens on the spot market translates into the contract market, but usually when there is the sustained delta or the sustained surge in pricing, we will see that have an impact on anybody who's signing a 12-month contract during that time period. Now, again, as we look out into the future, we don't see a lot of volatility looking into the next couple months, but of course that is definitely going to change. We see these rates pretty flat for right now, but again, as more data comes in, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, one last corridor to talk about, maybe this is what you consider some of the downs of the ocean freight market. We can see that intra-Asia business is actually stabling, creeping up slightly, but had a significant downtrend since the beginning of 2021. We saw that rates earlier this year, back in March, were sitting at around $892 per 40. And are now sitting around $697 per box. Contract market is fairly close to that, sitting around $600 per 40, and creeping up slightly to around $625. Looking at contracts for that will take place or start in the next couple of months. One thing to just think about here is that there's always ups and downs in the ocean freight market. Just because there are surges in one part of the world doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities in others. So with a tool like Xeneta, you can definitely quickly identify those and be on top of your game. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out.